Okay, hey, what up, dudes? Hey, today I'm going to show you guys how to mess around with some, do some kind of fun things with some fonts. This is a skateboard, and it's obviously very simple. I just added skate free on there. And right now I'm going to show you guys kind of a cool little thing you can do that's very simple, and virtually anybody can do it at virtually any skill level. So, and this doesn't have to be done on a skateboard. Obviously, this can be done on any piece of artwork, following these same steps. So what I'm going to do is I kind of have this green font here, and I'm actually going to duplicate this layer right here. That's my text layer. I'm just going to drag that down here and drop it onto a new layer. If you don't know where that is, it's right down here. You just drag and drop it. It'll create a brand new layer. It just duplicates the layer. There's other ways to do it, of course. And then I'm going to take this new layer that we've created here, and I'm just going to come up here to image. I'm going to go to adjust, and I'm not going to do that because I got to rasterize this font. So right click on it, come down here to rasterize, and just click rasterize. Then you can come back up here, image, adjustments, hue and saturation, and I'm going to, you gotta click this colorize box, and then I'm gonna take my saturation, I'm gonna pump that bad boy all the way up, and then on this hue right here, I'm just gonna move that slider until I get something that I kind of like. Let's see, I'm not really finding anything that's jumping out at me, but let's go with that, and I'm gonna lighten it up. It's a little dark, I think, for what I'm trying to do. So I'm just gonna pump the brightness up on it. There we go, perfect. I'm gonna hit OK. Now, this is where the fun part is. So, we should probably do one more layer. So now let's duplicate this layer we just made right here. Let's duplicate that one. So we're gonna duplicate it. So now we got 3 text layers. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're gonna go image, adjust, and then hue and saturation, sorry. And once again, same exact steps. We're going to hit this colorize. We're going to pump up the saturation, and actually that's probably about where I want it, to be honest with you. I kind of like that, so I'm going to hit OK. Now we can start doing some kind of cool stuff. So this is again very easy stuff. So we're going to come over here, and we're actually going to go to our eraser tool right here. I'm just going to click that. And then up here at the top where we got some options, I'm going to change this brush because I want a nice, you can see how these ones fade out. Well, these ones have nice harsh lines. They're real hard. These have soft edges. So I'm just going to click this one. It's probably not the size exactly I'm going to want, but we're going to see. So, yeah, that's a little small. So we're going to come up here to the brush size, and I'm going to probably at least double it. Yeah, that's about right, I'd say. So let's start from there. So we're on this top layer here, and now we're just going to come through here and just do some random erasing. Okay, now that brush is a little hard, to be honest with you. I'm going to do a couple step backs here. That's edit, step back. We're going to do it one more time. Edit, step back. And I thought that was going to be not quite so sharp. Let's go back to here, pump this up again. And I think what I want to do is I just actually want to bring down right here the opacity to, I don't know, let's just try 60, let's try 81. Okay, now I'm going to come over to this font again, and I'm just going to kind of hit some spots here. I'm totally just doing this at random. This isn't the brush. I would mess with this brush a little bit. It's a little too sharp, I think, personally. But it's going to work for this. So as you can see, I'm just erasing blah, 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 blah. And this, you're just seeing the next layer underneath, which is the red font. So as you can see, if I turn this top layer off that we were working on, you can see it just goes to the red layer. So we've erased some of that yellow layer. Now I'm going to go to I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to click on the red layer now. and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to erase some of this, maybe here and here and here, 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 do some there, do some there. We're just, like I said, we're just erasing some, just adding some interest now. And then, so we did that. If I click this bottom layer off, you can see how I erased chunks of that one. And then we can turn that one on. You can see there's a little variation now. And if I click that one, now we got even more variation. But I'm going to, because this layer and this layer are somewhat similar in color, and you got this big contrast with this bright color here that really takes over the design. I'm actually just going to grab this layer and I'm going to drag it behind that layer. I'm going to look up, and now it's dropped behind there. And that gives me a little bit maybe more interesting font there. And then of course you can always do things like, say, this layer right here, maybe you want to mess with the opacity of that layer, which is always very easy to do. You just, in your layers palette, you're just going to have this opacity right here, and you can literally change it like that. And that's just lightening up that, or making it transparent, sorry. It's called opacity, but it's actually just making it transparent. You can see now it's less transparent, now it's all the way transparent, you can't see it. So, you know, you can kind of play with this, just kind of getting that maybe where you want it. You can do that with every layer to get different colors. So, okay, so we did that. So now what can we do? Well, let's really mess with this. So now if we come over here, I'm going to select the top, all the text layers, 3 text layers. So, whoops, I'm going to turn that one back on. So now I got 3 text layers all selected, and I'm going to option click on it, or PC it's probably, I don't know, control click or shift click. So right click. And you should get something that says merge layers. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to take all 3 of those layers and put them into one. Okay. Now I'm going to come back up here to image. I'm going to go to adjust. I'm going to come back again to hue and saturation. I'm going to click that colorize button again. I'm going to pump the saturation all the way up. And then you can start moving this slider around, and you can see you get some interesting colors, variations, and fonts, or to the font, sorry. So let's say we want something very bright. So let's just go with that for now. We're gonna hit OK, and you can see now you have somewhat more interesting of a font. I know it's not the most amazing thing you've ever seen, but it's definitely more interesting than it was. And then, you know, you can play with the background. So let's click on this layer right here. That is my skateboard layer right here, that black. And I am actually going to come over here to my magic wand tool, which is here. If you don't have it, hold down, the fly out window will pop out, and click on the magic wand tool. Then just select your deck. And once you see these little marching ants, as some people call them, then you know you got it selected. And let's just come over here to our colors here. I'm going to double click on that, and that's going to open up the color picker. And then I'm going to find a color, I don't know, let's go, just go somewhere in here. Let's see what this looks like. This might not work, but well, we'll make it dark, so it should work. So we're going way down here, it's really dark. And then we're just going to simply come over here to this little tool that looks like a paint bucket, which is exactly what it is, and it's spilling out paint. And we're just going to click, and that's going to colorize that board for us. Maybe adds a little interest to it. I'm not sure if it really did, but okay. So now I'm going to come up here, and I don't want that deck selected anymore, so I'm going to hit deselect. And we're going to do one final thing. I want to add a lighting effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come over to my layers here, and I'm actually going to merge all these layers. I selected them all. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to come down to merge layers. Too far zoomed in. That's strange. Okay, what do I got going on here? Oh, let me do that. Let me try that again. Right click. There we go. I don't know what I did. Merge layers. So that's going to take every layer, and now it's all down to 1, which is good and bad. It's good because it's clean. It's bad because now you can't do nearly as much as far as editing. Okay, so now this is kind of fun. We're going to come up here. We're going to go to Filter, and we're going to come down here where it says Render, and we're going to come over here with Lighting Effects. Now, I showed this in my last video, but if that lighting effect is grayed out and you can't get to it, simply just go to Image, go to Mode, and make sure you're on RGB. If you're on CMYK, it won't work. So make sure you just click RGB. It'll ask you if you want to flatten the image if you haven't already, which means you're taking all the layers and putting them into one. If it asks you that, hit Do Not, or flatten it if you want. I mean, either way, you're probably going to be okay. And then you'll be able to... So once what I'm saying is once you've switched it from whatever color space you were in, and then switch it to RGB, you're going to be able to do this lighting effect. So... now that you got it switched to RGB, go to Filter, Render, Lighting Effects at the bottom here. And I actually have one that I made, and I got it in my, I saved it. And it is called Perfect for Decks. Now, you won't have that one, but you can see I got some settings here. You can take a quick look at them. And these aren't gold. There's no rule to these settings. This is just the way I had mine set up. So trust me, you don't have to follow these rules exactly. Just play with it. But you can take a look. If you want a starter, that's a good place to start. So there we go. We got that. So I'm going to hit OK. And you're going to see we're going to get a little cool little lighting effect that's going to take place on the deck. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest with you. But... you know, anyway, you saw the process, you know how it's done now, and you can totally mess with it. So go ahead and have some fun with that, guys. Let me know if the video works for you, and if you guys enjoyed it, then that'd be cool. If you don't, then well, that sucks. So yeah, I'll try to get up some more videos, and until next time.